All right, everyone. This is Chris Munn. I'm one of the hosts of Inner Demons, the Ghost Rider podcast. And with me, as always, is my co-host,
me, Brian Biggie. And you are listening to Marvel's Damnation crossover event on Into the Night, the net's best Moon Knight podcast.
Hey guys, it's Rod Reyes here, artist of Marvel's Damnation comic book event. Welcome to the podcast crossover between Inner Demons, Sons of the Dragon, Defenders TV podcast, and Into the Night. Every issue reviewed, all tie-in books discussed. May all be damned.
Welcome back, Loony Listeners. Yes, this is part 12 of Damnation, the epic podcast crossover event. This is episode 38 of Into the Night. I am one of your hosts, Ray.
I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Connor, here with this cast of cool cats to review issue 17 of Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider, for the Damnation crossover.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. It's a nice, short, sharp, quick one here. We usually do 2 issues for review, but for this Damnation thing, we will focus solely on Scarlet Spider, which is pretty cool. But before any of that, I've got to welcome again Rebecca. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
That's
I
good.
just had another bit of a tattoo done, so a little bit sore, but generally good.
Did you say also as well that a bit of it was missing? I saw a message.
I don't want to go into any details because it's not nice.
Oh,
but it is not healing in the same way as all my other tattoos.
Oh no! Oh,
so
is it painful?
It's a little bit sore, but I think it's starting to get better now.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's cool. And Connor, my good sir, how are you?
I am doing tired, but I've got tea.
Yes,
so I'm doing well.
Fantastic.
How about you, Ray?
Yeah, I've got my cup of coffee here. A little sad, I guess, in the sense that this is our last review of Damnation. But I've been really enjoying all the other reviews from Sons of the Dragon, Immortal Iron Fist, Inner Demons, and Defenders. They've been so great with their reviews, and it's been so much fun.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I'm going to listen to the Defenders one with work this morning, so. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, those guys.
We'll get up to 13 different parts between the 4 of us by the time it finishes.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. That's it's really good. And I only just recently listened to because the Doctor Strange issue dropped the same time as the issue that we're reviewing now, Scarlet Spider. So was fortunate enough to listen to the Defenders podcast, and they do a really, really cool job. I've got to say again, like the Doctor Strange issues have been blowing it out of the water for me, out of the whole Damnation event. But in general, all the tie-ins have been pretty cool. Like I listened to. I
think all the tie-ins have been pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, that Iron Fist 79. We were just talking about it just recently, Rebecca. That was just, I guess, for any Iron Fist fan, that would be such a great issue.
A real buzz, yeah.
Yeah.
It was really good.
I know Iron Fist Connor was quite happy for it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that, like, Ed Brisson's run in general has been really good. It's called back to a lot of Iron Fist stuff, and, every time a new writer takes over one of your favourite characters, you're never really sure how it's going to go with sort of continuity and stuff like that. And it's been really, Ed Brisson's kind of gone back to a lot of the older stuff, and has tied up a few loose ends that have been around for quite a while.
Yeah.
So, the Damnation tie-in is just, it seems like he's grasped it with both hands of like, this is how I can sort of tackle some of the things that I wouldn't have had time to do probably in a normal run.
Yeah, this is his last issue too, yeah?
It's the last solicited issue of Iron Fist, yeah.
The next one, yeah.
Next week.
Yeah, and it shows that. I mean, it's got to be so reassuring for fans as well. It just shows that he's done his research and his homework for Iron Fist. So, as a fan, that's exactly kind of what you want, you know. And don't want to be too disparaging of like the core books for Damnation at the moment, but you know they've got to juggle a lot of characters. But it just seems that there's not that level of love, I guess.
I think it's like it's the flip for it's kind of the flip side for most normal events, because normal events the core is all you need to read, and for this one it seems more like the core is the little bits that tie the issues together, but actually the tie-ins are more interesting.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, because there's really little that happens in the core books from memory. I mean, there's
very little.
Yeah, one or two big things, but that's about it. And it's But Connor, have you been reading Iron Fist and the latest Doctor Strange as well?
Yes, I haven't read the latest Doctor Strange because I generally suck at those things. But Iron
that's
Fist
a doozy.
So good.
Yeah,
and it's also sad knowing that I think there's like one more issue Doctor Strange after this, so this event's like the last time we're going to see Bats.
Hopefully not. Hopefully he gets his own title.
Yeah.
Bats, you know, the early years or you know, something like that.
Ghost
but yeah,
Pet Avengers.
Pet Avengers. But I mean, you're in for a treat, Connor. And they discuss it on the Defenders podcast. He was fantastic in the latest issue as well.
So good.
Yeah, it's just
it's a Bats issue.
Yeah. It was really cool. But anyway, we are here, Loonies, not to discuss Doctor Strange or even Moon Knight, maybe a little bit. We are here for Scarlet Spider number 17, which is good. But again, before any of that, just a bit of smattering of news, I guess. You know, not necessarily Mooney related, just all kind of Marvel related. The first one just was announced a day or two ago, that Matt Rosenberg has been announced to do the Astonishing X-Men, I think, from issue 13. So he's taken over from Charles Soule. This should be pretty cool, and he seemed quite pumped at getting the gig. So that's good signs again for fans. Like he's obviously a big fan of the X-Men. Have any of you been reading Astonishing X-Men?
I've read most of it. I missed a couple of issues. But the team's changing.
Yeah, did it get better? Like, I mean, it was okay. I got the first two or something, and then
it definitely got better from that. But now it's kind of like it's good, but it's not unmissable for me.
Yeah, okay.
Like I wanted to read it to see what they did with Professor X, and because I love Phantom X.
Yeah.
And now, but yeah, the team's changing for Rosenberg. He's got Havoc.
Yes.
And Dazzler.
Dazzler.
I'm going to just stick with the most important ones.
Warpath, I think, or Thunderbird.
Warpath.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. I can't remember who else.
And Colossus, I think, is in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it looks like a fun team.
Yeah, that should be pretty cool. So I might come back and maybe just pick it up in digital, just dip my toe in, see if it's any good. But I generally like Rosenberg's stuff. So yeah, should be good.
And we're all in for Multiple Man.
Oh yes,
I'm so excited for Multiple Man.
Yeah, I forgot. I forgot that he was going to do it, and so that's got me thinking like if he's got Multiple Man, he's going to be pretty good.
Well, he did say one other surprise member of the team that he's not announcing yet. So I'm just going to pretend to you that it'll be
that'll be so good. Yeah. Oh, let's wait and see. We've got till I don't know, what issue are they up to now? Do you know, Rebecca?
I don't know. I think the last one was 8.
Okay, so we've still got a bit of time. Maybe in May or June or something.
It'll be July.
July,
it'll be July because any announcement we're getting now will probably be. Let's have a look. 12 is up. 12 is in June. Yeah, it'll be July because everything that gets announced now will be because the solicits are this week.
Okay.
Oh yay!
So
and
that's how you can tell.
Multiple Man's July as well. Yeah, I think June or July. I think it was announced early, but
it must be June. It must be June because I've already got it on order. And the place I order from doesn't let you order things until they're in solicits.
Right.
So we've not had the May one. But yeah, you're right. It's not. I'll check that while you talk.
And that the art looks really exciting.
The art
So
looks
good.
Yeah, it does.
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's June. Multiple
June.
Man starts in June.
I can't wait for that. That will be so
I know.
good. So good. We have also another bit. This is actually monumental news here, Connor. Would you like to take this one? This is going to rock everyone in the Loony community.
Yeah, that's right. Real talk. The big ones, smashing it out. Because guess what? Max Bemis can write a song for you between like $85 and like $210. You ask him, you pay him, he writes you a song about whatever you want.
Yeah.
Just go to his website, which has a thing that I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's like Max Bemis. Yeah.
It's like
Songshop.com.
Oh, that's
Sorry,
easy
Rebecca.
to remember. So easy to
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
And Rebecca came up with a fantastic idea.
That we're all going through with. Very exciting.
That we're all going to go through with, and we'd like to put it to all the loonies out there as well. Why not get Uncle Max to write a song for the theme tune for Into the Night? I think that would be brilliant. And
No.
Rebecca's 100% on board. She said, let's push this. You ask all the loonies, and let's get this happening. So,
let's push the music industry forward
That's
with
it.
this song. Was her
I
exact
just think that the poor guy might want a break from writing about Moon Knight.
and
That's all.
we have to give him keywords, as we've mentioned, or the key phrases for him to get inspired. I mean, I'm sure he's got a lot of inspiration already.
I would hope he does.
He's writing a whole series, I guess.
Who's Moon Knight?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so loonies, we want your money, basically. Well, not all of your money, just a little bit. I don't know how we're going to do this, but yeah, let's get a song from Uncle Max for the ITK podcast. Absolutely love it. Details will follow in the show notes somewhere. So brilliant. Rebecca, you've got a little snippet here about Iron Fist, your other wheelhouse.
My other wheelhouse, which is obviously why I found it out. Multiversity Comics have got the preview for Iron Fist 80 up, and in the introduction to it, they said the issue will give some answers about the survival of the Midnight Suns.
Yes.
Now, that's not in the preview, so don't go rushing to look at the preview pages. That's literally just the first 4 pages of the comic, which are pretty cool, but it's up to you if you read previews or not. But I thought it was an interesting... I mean, I don't think they get a copy of the whole comic, so that's probably editorial they've got from Marvel, because they can't just make up that's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
but hey, cool. Maybe Iron Fist 80 next week will give us some answers about the survival of the Midnight Suns.
That will be so cool. And I think as we were discussing just a bit before, Rebecca, that might be like a way to transition Iron Fist if it's...
It may get us to keep Iron Fist, because issue 80 is the last solicited issue of Iron Fist.
Yeah, which is a real bummer.
Do not know what's happening to him afterwards.
Yeah, so that should keep the Iron Fist fires burning, hopefully.
Hopefully.
But also, from looking at from Moon Knight fans, might be potentially a second title for Moon Knight fans to be able to collect if Mr. Knight is in the team as a regular member. Hopefully he has a bit more to do than what we've seen him do in this Damnation event, but always exciting. We also have a announcement which came recently as well, which was no surprise, I guess, and that is for Netflix's Jessica Jones was renewed for season 3, so that's pretty cool. This will be an interesting... I guess the third season will be interesting to see where they take it, because they've really played up with the format, I think, for Jessica Jones. Like this season 2, there wasn't kind of like a big bad. It was very much family oriented and Jessica finding her, her origins. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it will be back to, I don't know, having an arch rival, arch nemesis?
I think we might find out a bit more. I don't know. I mean, maybe they'll explore the Patsy stuff and...
that's true.
I don't want to say too much because people may not have finished watching season 2 yet.
Or started, like me, because I'm...
Or started, like
gosh.
Connor.
Sorry.
So, no,
Sorry,
but
yeah.
I imagine that, she's got a great cast of characters. And I don't think any of us fully knew where season 2 was going to go.
Yeah.
But it is an issue with Jessica Jones because, there's not a lot of content comics-wise. And maybe they'll develop more of keep developing the side characters who aren't so side anymore. And maybe give her some more detective cases to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, also as well sort of shows that they are pretty committed to keeping up with Netflix once the Disney streaming service goes up, which is exciting.
Yes, so they'll keep on, I reckon they'll keep on churning out these seasons for the 4 or 5 characters, as long as they're able. I was just thinking because with Daredevil, but I guess that made more sense because of the lead up to the Defenders. But
Daredevil's also got years of content to draw on.
Yeah, true. But I'm just thinking like season 1, season 2, there was an organic flow to that, because they dropped little hints throughout, and of course the Kingpin was in both of them. So yeah, but that was all kind of leading towards the Hand and the Defenders, I guess. So that kind of made sense. But yeah, I mean, this is the second season from another title from Netflix as well. So I guess we'll have to see how they handle Luke Cage as well, which will be not that long to go. But yeah, how do they? Yeah, June. Just how they treat the second season. Yeah, because
it will be really interesting.
Yeah, because with Luke Cage, Burstein, we last saw him treating Diamondback. So there's a door, just waiting to be opened for season 2 as well. But they could actually just do something totally different. I mean, you don't know, because we've got Danny Rand coming in Luke Cage as well. So
more Misty. So.
More Misty as well. Oh, yes, of course, and her bionic arm in action, which is can be pretty cool to see.
Very cool.
Plenty of stuff to unpack in Luke Cage. Mr. Connor, we have some other exciting news.
Yes. Yes. Big congratulations to Max Bemis and his wife. They have just, delivered, I don't know the exact wording here, of their new son, Charlie Bemis, who's an absolute cutie. They posted about it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Adorable. And when you said before about the Jessica Jones thing, you were like, here's something I guess we always sort of know happens, but here it is. I thought you were talking about his son. I was a bit confused.
Okay. Yeah, we all knew that. We all knew Charlie was going to be born today. Yeah. But that announcement was literally, like less than an hour? Oh, no.
It was only about 50 minutes after we started talking. So.
Wow. Hot off the press there, and congratulations to the Bemis family. That's fantastic. Award-winning name there, Connor?
Yep. Already.
Okay. Fantastic. Excellent. And, I see here in the notes, there's just one final bit of news there. Connor, do you want to take that one then?
Look, I'm pretty sure we're going to have to work with our sources to confirm the validity of that one, so we'll come back next week with a special report on that.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well, there we go. Just a bit of news this week. Sorry, excuse me. Just to get this show started, but the main reason, I guess, why we're here is obviously our Over the Moon comic book review of the Scarlet Spider. And as always, for those that haven't listened to us before, what we do is that we will give a synopsis called the bare bones, basically running through the whole issue, in summary. Then we will go through our aspects, 4 main aspects of interesting, or the main themes of the issue, That's closely followed by any notes that we might have. So just some observations or references that we'd like to like to mention. And we'll cap it off with our Crescent Dart ratings out of 5. So this week, Connor is very gracious to give us the bare bones for this one. So take it away, my good sir.
Ben Reilly, The Scarlet Spider, Volume 1, Issue 17, released the 11th of April 2018, with writer Peter David, artist Will Sliney, colors Rochelle Rosenberg, and lettered by VC's Joe Carmagna. The cover artists are Connie Randolph and Emilio Lopez, with editor Devin Lewis. Ben Reilly has second thoughts about the deal he just made with Mephisto. He's agreed to take out the Midnight Suns in exchange for a purification of his soul, as well for Abigail's recovery from a terminal illness. In Riley's pursuit to become a hero, he now questions whether the path he's chosen to get there is noble at all. Regardless of the inner turmoil he faces, the Scarlet Spider climbs up to a healthy vantage point and takes aim at Wong. He intends to carry out his end of the bargain, and although he knows he can't trust Mephisto, his desperation gets the better of him. Elsewhere, Jezebel keeps a close eye on the Scarlet Spider, through what appears to be either satellite or CCTV surveillance. She chats with an unknown accomplice, and they deliberate as to whether Ben Reilly will do the right thing or not. The unknown man also lets slip that he has released Aunt June, to Jezebel's astonishment. It appears, however, that Aunt June now sports some superhuman abilities of her own, as she unwittingly manages to ward off a horde of demons with a flash of light. Back at the center of Las Vegas, Scarlet Spider is getting ready for a shot when he's unexpectedly ambushed by a demonized Kane. Spewing flame from his mouth, Kane and Scarlet Spider battle it out, and it's eventually the Scarlet Spider who gains the upper hand by setting a trap of his own. With Kane now up close and personal, the Scarlet Spider takes out a vial of holy water and forces Kane to ingest it, with startling results. Kane is cured, and it's not long before Kane discovers Ben's deal with the devil. Kane reproaches the Scarlet Spider that even though Mephisto will give Ben what he wants after the deal, he will still find a way to ruin what Ben has fought for, in some way or another. Ben assures Kane that he's backed out of the deal, and Kane also assumes that it's Ben's broken soul which may have led him to make such a rash decision with Mephisto. The Spider tells Kane that there are still many possessed humans in Las Vegas, which need saving, and Kane agrees to see what he can do. Kane swings away with a plan to use holy water in the same way it saved him. He leaves the Scarlet Spider to properly show Mephisto that he doesn't know any part of the deal. The Scarlet Spider parts company too, but this time he's headed to join the Midnight Suns. He catches up with Moon Knight and Iron Fist, who are still tied up fighting the possessed Avengers, but after beating Black Panther off Mr. Nine, he steals himself, and with the two Midnight Suns at his side, he charges into the fray.
Yes. But yeah, another very solid issue, I thought here, of Scarlet Spider, number 17 from Peter David. Initial thoughts, Rebecca, what did you think of this issue? Was it did it hold up to the standard of Damnation, or?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed. It's just been a fun read. And like we very much knew that the last issue was, ooh, what's going to happen now, just to get us to that, doing a deal with Mephisto. Back page, so it's always interesting to see what happens after that. And because sometimes you get the feeling they know where the end point they want is for a comic as they're writing it, and this one makes me actually excited to get back to Damnation, the core, as well. So again, does its job well. I want to keep reading about Ben, and I want to read more about the event again. I thought it was pretty successful tie-in.
Yeah, and how about you, Connor? Did you enjoy this issue?
Yeah, I agree, actually. I thought it was just nice, fun, really good action. Just once again, as I said before, just doing well at both setting up Damnation, as Rebecca said, but also just setting up the future of this series. I think it's just great how Peter David continues to do this with Ben's character, and I think Rebecca really agrees. Both all of these actually really, this especially the Ghost Rider tie-in as well just makes number 4 actually seem like a really exciting finale as well. So definitely done its job.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. I thought it was pretty good. I thought there's a really cool parallel between this and, say, the Damnation core books, in the fact that the premise of this is very simple, right? And if you strip everything away, there's not really, again, that much that happens. But I think the beauty of what Peter David does is that he populates it with so much of, I think, Ben Reilly's thinking, and I guess it's the interaction between Ben and Kane that really make it a lot more than a very kind of by the numbers book. It was enjoyable. By no means is it like a 5 out of 5 or anything like that, but it was enjoyable in the fact that, I guess, it just shows off Peter David's writing prowess and how he handles the characters. And look, he's got a couple of little subplots there as well to kind of break up the story and kind of maintain a really nice beat throughout the story, a really nice flow. So yeah, it was pretty cool, I thought. All right, well, after that, let's get into our 4 main aspects for this. I'll kick it off. One of the big main aspects, I thought, and what I thought was a bit of a shame that it was revealed on the front cover, was the Ghost Rider demonized Kane. I thought that was pretty cool, and how he interacted with the Scarlet Spider. I say that about the cover because there's a really cool splash page of when Ben Reilly is kind of ambushed and he's knocked down and he looks up, and there's a full splash page of Kane standing over him as the Ghost Rider, possessed Kane. But yeah, it kind of, the gloss was kind of taken off a little of it from the cover. I thought it was a very beautiful cover as well, but yeah, I was about to say, did anyone see this coming? But I guess everyone did. It's on the cover.
Well, perhaps, but I don't know. I'm so distrustful of covers.
Yeah, we got faked out last time.
That's true.
I just went, oh, nice art, and didn't actually give it a second thought.
Okay.
So it's probably more of a surprise to me.
Right.
Maybe because I'm just like, oh yeah, it's a cover, and also because I bought it digitally this time, so I don't tend to dwell on the covers as much when I'm not picking them up off the shelf.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't know. Kind of, your thoughts on possessed Kane?
Oh, I love Kane. I thought this was so cool. I was actually the same as Rebecca. I think because it was digital, I just kind of skipped past the cover this time. Although I really like it. And then when he finally showed up, it was actually quite a surprise. It was just great. It just made the second half of the issue so much more fun. I thought it was the best action.
Yeah,
I think they did a lot of really cool stuff with his actual fire-breathing abilities, and just web swinging around.
Yeah,
look, and I love Kane. I think Kane's great.
Well, and can we also say the holy water thing?
Yes,
good idea, Ben.
Yeah, that was very good.
Right?
Very good. Water.
Yeah,
not used to people having actual, genuinely good ideas and not just falling into the solution in comics. It's legit something you'd want to try.
You're true, yeah. But when he first revealed it and he pulled the thing out of his pouch, the holy water, the first thing I was thinking of was like, oh, this is not going to work. So I was actually surprised.
The first thing I was thinking was, that did not fit in that pouch.
Yeah, it's not exactly a vial. What is it? It's one of those bulbous.
It's just like a proper
what do you call them?
Chemistry lab.
Yeah,
thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, but
whatever.
Well, that's true. It looks far bigger than what his pouch can hold. But yeah, I thought oh, this is surely not going to work. I was thinking he's not a vampire. What's going to happen here?
Right, and that's exactly what I was thinking. It's not going to work. It's but there's no reason why it shouldn't, I guess.
Yeah, which is really cool. The other thing, I want to pull it up now from one of the notes, and it confused me with when we first saw Kane. If you got digital and you look at the page 1213 when Kane first appears, what happens there?
Uh-huh.
So is he invisible? Like we see him, but Ben Reilly's talking...
that's one of his powers.
Right.
I think he
okay.
means invisible to the spider sense.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought he meant.
Right, but he's not invisible, right? Or
No. He can turn invisible. I
oh,
can't remember what.
Can he?
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe that's why he has such a special suit.
right.
I might be wrong. It might be his power, but as far as I know, I'm pretty sure that's actually the suit. There's
Right.
There's a really fun part in the main series you guys of Scarlet Spider you guys haven't yet
No.
read yet that uses that invisibility as well. But yeah, no, that's
okay.
that's in the roster.
Well, if anything, I guess art-wise, it would have been maybe good to highlight that. You know, like do a Sue Storm invisible thing or something. Because it just confused me a little. And then exactly as you're saying, Rebecca, I thought, okay, is it just spider sense? Which makes sense. We all know.
Yeah.
You know, they're immune to each other's spider sense. But yeah, okay. Interesting. And also as well with Kane, what I read, and kind of this may speak towards you and your fandom as well. Apparently one of the fans said that Kane is meant to be a lot bigger than Peter Parker or Ben Reilly. He's meant to be something like 6'5", 250 pounds.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think he's meant to be kind of like a Venom, like an Eddie Brock. Is there anything in the comics that has shown that he's reduced in weight? Or
No, I don't ever remember him being that big. I suppose.
oh,
Like he's always just sort of been a bit bulkier than Peter, but like
right.
nowhere near as big as Venom, or like he's like I guess he's bulkier than Peter, but less bulky than Wolverine.
Okay.
The scale.
Yeah, fair enough.
Bulky boys.
Okay, well, I mean, and again, I guess, I mean, look, I do love Will Sliney's art, but you don't really, it doesn't come across here if indeed that is the case. So, that was. I guess that leads into, was that your next aspect, Connor, about the art?
Yes, actually. I just really want to give a shout out here. I seem to like this one more than I enjoyed his previous art. I'm not sure why.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just kind of went along with it a bit more. But yeah, I just thought it was just so much fun. I thought especially just how dynamic the action scenes were, all the poses and the swinging fists and the webs and all the different styles and moves just felt like really, really almost like manga-esque, like almost
okay.
JoJo fashion of fighting here. But yeah, as well as like the actual appearance of Ghost Rider Kane as well. I just thought there was just so much fun happening. I think he does also very well with actual powers, like the special effects of the fire and the webs and the lightning, the gunfire. Just really does it well, and he does a great man thing as well.
Yeah, I do
really great man thing.
Well, that came out of nowhere, didn't it? Like I almost forgot
Yeah.
Man Thing was part of the Midnight Suns, and then he comes crashing into a car, and beautifully drawn. I do love, I love how he's drawn Kane, Ghost Rider Kane, with the mask half up. I guess he was going to breathe fire, but it's got a cool look. Not too dissimilar from the masks of say Iron Fist, just a half mask, which is pretty cool. Yeah. I thought there was less, which I thought was a good thing. There was less of that, the depth of field, which I think we raised in the last review about. It was just so obvious it was there. It was almost as if they overused it. Over here, like it was used sparingly, which I think was pretty cool. I'm just looking at page 6. That's where the Man Thing crashes through. And also just the number of splash pages as well. I think it was really cool. It really broke up the comic. So you had the splash page of Kane, and then you have all the Midnight Suns fighting, which I thought was a pretty good...
That's a great page.
Yeah. It was hard to... At first it was hard to make out what was happening. Like, was Thor fighting Iron Fist there? It looks most likely.
I think so.
Yeah, but then
Iron Fist looks a little bit twisted around.
Oh,
yeah,
he's super flexible.
of course he is.
He's got awesome. He's got an awesome grip on his boots there. But he's kicking. He's kicking. I think he's kicking either Thor or Black Panther. But
it must be Black Panther.
It must be Black Panther. And then you have Moon Knight, our boy Moon Knight there, just reeling. It seems he's the only one struggling, I think, in that fight. But he looks okay. I think I do like the way that Sliney's represented the fabric over his face and such. So that's pretty cool.
I thought it was really good, the art, yeah. And such an action-packed issue.
It was, wasn't it?
But, I mean, it's really like start to finish, even with all the voiceover stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, but there was a lot of voiceover, wasn't there? There was so much...
Yeah, you got all this internal monologue, but he could do it while he's fighting.
Yeah. Yeah, I do really like it. He's not like a Deadpool ripoff at all, I think, which is the danger that he can become, because he's a bit not all there.
It's a real danger.
But he's still got a level of there's a level of he's not flippant about everything. Like this inner dialogue, he's really working through it, within himself as to where his morals lie and what he should do. So again, I'm pretty impressed with how this character's rounded out as well. But the art's pretty cool. Did you have a particular aspect, Rebecca?
No, but I'll raise stuff that's raised on the forums. We like Mr. Knight in this, right?
Yes.
He doesn't get to do much, but this is a nice depiction of him. Yes. We're not gonna. Yeah. There's not going to be any. Oh, he's a bit too jokey. This is fine.
I think
he looks good, like you said, and
he looks good. Yeah.
He seems like right. I mean, his only words in the whole thing are "oof" and "I'll survive." But that seems very.
I've survived is a good quote.
Yeah.
"I'll survive" is a good quote.
Is a good quote. That. And I think Peter David's played it safe here, which is good. He hasn't tried to broaden, too much of Moon Knight in here that may irk fans, as per the Damnation issue. But yeah, Moon Knight's looking pretty good. Mr. Knight. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I think what Peter David's done is he's got a lot to cover, so he's just stuck to writing his comic. Nobody else has a lot to say. To be honest,
true.
Wong only has a couple of sentences, so I think it's just like I'll deal with Ben, but I'll have all this other stuff going on.
Which is fair enough. I mean, and which is what you'd expect in a tie-in book. And then again, going back to the core books, then that's where you expect things to be fleshed out. Which I guess it has. Like you did have Moon Knight trying to lift the hammer and all that, but maybe it was just very divisive as to how he was handled. But Mr. Knight looking pretty good there. Like the crescent moon on his forehead is on the correct way. Iron Fist is looking pretty cool as well. I must say,
he did well by Iron Fist, did well by Wong.
Wong pretty cool. Yeah. The only ones that kind of missed out were Elsa and Blade, who only got like a very brief.
Well, they can't all be in everything.
Oh no, yeah, it's a large cast, isn't it? Cast of thousands. So, Brother Voodoo. See, forgot about him. He was there as well. Pretty cool. Look, and the other main aspect to this story is the main thing was obviously Ben's inner monologue, but the big thing was Scarlet Spider reneging on the deal with Mephisto. So this was the thing that he was battling with himself, whether he should do it or whether he shouldn't. This was the reason why Ghost Rider Kane came at him, because Mephisto saw him as a traitor. And this is what ultimately we kind of see a better side of Ben Reilly in the fact that he decides to break the deal and not think of just himself, but to think of the bigger picture. So, this was pretty cool, I thought. One thing,
cause that's the thing we really need to answering is what happens when you renege on a deal with Mephisto.
That's it. The repercussions are terrible. Well, either way, you're screwed, right? And that's exactly what Kane was saying. He's saying, look, you could go through the deal with Mephisto, and he could purify your soul, and he could cure Abigail, no problems, and you kill Wong and the Midnight Suns. But who's not to say later down the track he'll put Abigail in a car crash or something, and so everything's kind of fought for naught. Which is a right point as well. What I was thinking about, and again, I will pull this up from the notes, is that, again, if I cite the pages, page 11, 11 to 12, so when Ben is pointing the gun at Wong, ready to kind of shoot him, and then the webbing thwips the gun and, dislodges the Scarlet Spider. How does Mephisto know that he's not going to do it? I mean, he's at that point where he's about to shoot Wong. How come Mephisto calls him a traitor, or Kane calls him a traitor? He actually preempted it and took the gun out of his hands before he even had time to shoot. Does that make sense?
Or maybe he just watched him point it at him for too long. No, I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, Mephisto does, I guess, have eyes everywhere. Maybe he can read minds.
Maybe he can. Yeah, I mean, that was... Yeah, I don't know. But, I'm being very picky here, but I just thought that, if Ben had, just thrown the gun away and gone, okay, look, I'm not going to do it, then that was pretty clear that he...
It would have been a stronger point for the character as well, although I still like a lot the arc in this. I think it does really well to show the desperation, but it's just...
Well, I guess it also shows him really being so indecisive, really battling within himself. So I guess that makes sense. He could really and it creates a tension, right? He could really pull the trigger. If he wanted to. But yeah, that was just a little thing I picked up there. But yeah, so he reneges on the deal. He and Kane go their ways to help stop Mephisto and the demons. And yeah, as we see at the end, Ben joins the Midnight Suns instead of killing them, and so now they're reinforced, and they head back into battle. Which, as you say, Rebecca, I can't wait for Damnation 4, because we should then now, since that's the last issue as well, we should see a lot of closure, a lot of things tying up.
Although I was just looking on the letters page where they have the checklist wrong, because they say that Iron Fist 80... Well, it says Iron Fist 80 comes before Scarlet Spider 17, which doesn't. But, so we have a Doctor Strange issue after Damnation. Interesting.
Yeah, probably most likely
that'll be on Tidy Up by Bats.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, or like an epilogue or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
But there's really not many issues. I didn't realise there were literally just those 3 issues to go.
Yeah, it's
crazy. I mean, I guess it's been going on for already a couple of months now, but already it seems so fast. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and again, it's just that, I don't know, if you look at Damnation 3, apart from the tie-ins, things haven't really progressed much, other than, what was it? Johnny Blaze goes up to meet Mephisto, gets pushed out a window. Yeah, and these guys are still fighting, so nothing much has occurred. So it seems pretty quick, doesn't it? Okay. Well, just any notes that we have here. Look, I've covered a few of them already. Oh, as you're saying with the art, what I did love at the first page was the facial expressions by Will Sliney of Ben Reilly. I thought maybe that's what you alluded to with the manga thing, because the faces are so expressive, and particularly the one on the lower left. I'm just trying to pull up the page.
Yeah.
Really well drawn, I think, and so this was the first page where Ben's thinking, "Oh God, I've made a deal. I'm such an evil person. Maybe, I've turned into a monster or something. I don't know." So
it is the best line. Got to check my face, see if I'm totally evil.
Yeah, exactly. And he takes off the mask, feels his face, and then he has a little smug look on his face, going, "Oh, okay, cool, it's all good." Puts his mask back on. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, the mention of what Rebecca had mentioned earlier and the holy water. So there is an implication here by Ben Reilly that he got the holy water from a nearby fountain in Las Vegas. I just wondered whether there was an actual fountain in Las Vegas that was blessed with holy water. I'm not too sure.
There's lots of fountains there.
Mm-hmm. So
outside the casinos and stuff. There's one really big one.
Yeah.
Is it outside the Bellagio? Maybe, whatever. One of the big ones that does dancing water and stuff like that. But I don't know.
Maybe it was blessed. Who knows? With gamblers and casinos, a lot of super.
I'm sure there's churches there.
Yeah. You can, take your luck as wherever you can get it. So if they have a holy fountain, I wouldn't be surprised. Splash pages, obviously, I thought were really cool. And not only splash pages, I thought if you look at a lot of the panel layouts as well, there are a lot of half splash pages as well. So Sliney
There's a lot of interesting things where they've got a few little panels and then but inside a massive splash page.
Yeah, exactly.
Nicely done.
Yeah, which is really a really cool layout to Sliney there. So hats off. He does it a few times, doesn't he? I'm having a flick through and he's got...
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, with the 3 horizontal panels stacked, and then you have the mini splash page. But really cool. Just noting also as well, on page 13 as well, he uses angled panels to imply movements.
Yeah, and also on the last page.
And on the last page
with,
as well.
Iron Fist and Moon Knight come in.
Oh, yes.
Little angled panels, yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of line work there. So they're coming right at us.
A lot of line work.
Need those abs.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, he's got the slimy Marvel abs out for show as well. There's even there's a little butt shot there as well as Kane is swinging away. Any other notes, Rebecca or Connor? No?
Bring on the ending.
Bring on the ending.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Damnation 4 now.
There is just one thing here. I've just got a question as well. On page 20, after Kane and Scarlet Spider have their discussion, of the deal, Kane pulls out a mobile phone. Is that right? No one called him. He took out a phone and then he's going to look for some holy water.
Oh yeah,
is that
yeah? Who's he calling?
Yeah, who's he calling? That's the thing. Yeah, I mean, first I thought he was answering the call, but obviously not because there was no sound effect. So yeah, I wonder who is calling. And I guess we might see that in the later issues of Scarlet Spider, which I think Kane is a regular, isn't he, Connor?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Could be Peter.
Yeah. Cool. Alrighty. Well, that's it for this issue here. I'll throw it first to Rebecca.
What do I have to do this first?
Oh, I can. You can go. Oh,
I don't mind.
No. How many? What shall we write this? How many Crescent Art ratings? How many holy water vials would you give this?
3.5.
3.5?
I liked it though. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always want to give it more, but then I remember what comes as my top comics of the week.
Yeah, you've got to put things in perspective. Yeah.
Yes.
True. Yeah, 3.5 is a very solid rating.
It is. It's a definite buy.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't exactly. How about you? Oh, as a 3, what would you rate a 3 then? Is that 3 a buy as well, or?
Yeah, probably. But 3 might be a buy depending on if you like the characters.
Yeah. I'm always interested in people's.
Or like if it's kind of mid arc.
Uh-huh.
Might not be good for everyone to go buy it. Might be like wait for the next arc, buy at the beginning of the arc.
Yeah. Well, very good. Very good. And Connor, how many?
I would definitely force Kane to also drink 3.5 vials. I think
3.5.
Yeah, it's just like, it doesn't blow anything out of the water. It doesn't like change the landscape of comics forever. It's just a strong tie-in, a lot of fun, good action, fun writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Righty. I would agree as well. Look, I'm gonna round out with an even 3.5 as well. 3.5 spewing flames. Because I mean, it was a great. Generally, I give I'd give a 4 for a really decent issue. That kind of was just a bit above what you would expect. 3.5 is still very good, I think, and totally enjoyed this. Yeah, but it didn't it won't be one of those issues that you go back to years from now going, look, I've got to reread this because it's fantastic. Mm-hmm. But it was certainly an enjoyable issue. The characters were well handled. Peter David obviously focuses on his character, which is the Scarlet Spider, and he manages to really tell a good story around the scenario that is Damnation in Las Vegas. So, so I think I'm a fan now of Scarlet Spider. I'll probably be picking up his issues from now on.
I'm definitely going to pick up those ones I missed.
Yeah. Oh yes, me too.
And
yeah. Between Volume 2 and now. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'm looking more ahead as well. Like I see next issue, we have Mysterio in the little preview page that's coming out mid-May. Again, it looks like artwork by Kerry Randolph and Emilio Lopez. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. And I do like how the Scarlet Spider's got his hood up, which is makes him look a bit more badass. So there you go. Looney's 3.5 all round for a Scarlet Spider 17, which is pretty good. So please go check it out. And as we've said, there's only 3 more issues to go for the Damnation event. Next phase, Connor, we have something totally different.
Yes. Next phase. It disappeared on me, but now it's back. Yeah, that's right. Infinity War drops the week after next, I want to say.
Yeah.
25th to the 27th, depending on which country in the world you're in.
Yeah, I just booked my tickets, 25th.
25th for you guys, 26th for me, 27th for America.
Yeah.
That's right, I think I'm seeing it on the weekend anyway. But next phase, we are tackling one of the most outrageous, most crazy things that ever happened to Moon Knight with Mark Spector Moon Knight, the Infinity War crossover issues 41 to 44, and then later in the run, an Infinity Crusade crossover with 57. We're just going to have a nice little big old discussion about those issues, everything crazy that happens as we fun little lead up to all our hype for the Infinity War movie.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And look, for me, I guess first off, Connor, have you read these issues?
I most certainly have.
Oh, you have as well?
And ridiculous.
Yeah, they are ridiculous, aren't they? And we spoke about this earlier as well, about the Infinity Gauntlet, which I believe you haven't read yet, Connor. But Rebecca, Infinity War, which came after Infinity Gauntlet, I don't know about you, but it was the epitome of 90s ridiculous.
It's so 90s ridiculous.
It is. And anyway, so it is fun to kind of look back on. When I read it, when it first came out, I'd have to admit I didn't really enjoy it all that much. I loved Infinity Gauntlet. That was just groundbreaking for me, and the crossovers for that. But Infinity War, which came afterwards, which was an obvious, Infinity Gauntlet did really well. We've got to do something, again. I found it, really, I don't know. It was a bit how you going, I think. But it should be fun to review. Yeah. And do you remember Infinity Crusade, Rebecca? I can't remember that. But
God, no.
No.
Can't.
There were, multiple Infinity, I guess, series off the back of Infinity Gauntlet, but I can't remember
many.
that one. Yeah. But anyway, that will be fun to review with 2018 eyes. So looking forward to that. We actually for Spectacle, before I do a little shout out to our podcast crossover, we actually have a couple of bits of feedback here for the Scarlet Spider 17. So, Rebecca, could I ask you perhaps to read out the first one from Danielle?
Yes, from Danielle. She said she didn't know much about the Spidey clones, but I enjoyed it and mostly understood what was going on, except with the red-headed girl in the white room. I like how they actually explain why Ben was holding the idiot bull, remaking a deal with the devil by choosing to. I wonder if the holy water will actually work on everyone, though I don't know how a whole fountain could or would be blessed. Also, Midnight didn't sound crazy, so that's 10-10 with his appearance versus Damnation number 3. I'm not bitter, you're bitter.
Thank you, Danielle. Yes, and your comments pretty much echo our own thoughts as well. So the red-headed girl, Jezebel, in the white room, I guess we're seeing more of the group. I can't remember the name of the group that she's part of, but...
I can't remember either, but they were in the previous issue of Ben Reilly.
Yeah,
they mentioned it, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. And
is it? And she's some daughter of some
Satan, apparently.
Yes,
from Man on the Street.
little thing. And I don't know about the fountain either, but I'm sure in films they've done stuff like that before.
Oh
yeah,
I'm
get
sure.
The priest to
Yes.
bless all the water. I mean, I'm sure in actuality that could never happen, but hey.
Yeah, I can't remember. I remember Fright Night, the movie about vampires and stuff, the original. Doesn't someone...
I'm sure it's happened in quite a few vampire films.
Yeah, blessing a swimming pool or something.
Rivers, I can imagine it happening. It just seems to me that kind of crazy B-movie thing is quick, let's bless everything.
Oh, exactly. And totally agree with you, Danielle. 10 out of 10. Mr. Knight was unsullied in this issue, so hats off to Peter David. And onwards and upwards for Mr. Knight. Connor, we have another one there from Derek.
Derek says, I thought some of Riley's inner dialogue got a little repetitive in the beginning, but I guess that's what I like when you're trying to convince yourself of something. But overall, I really like it. The Kane and Ben dynamic is great, which I agreed with. I thought it was a pretty good first half, and then when Kane showed up, it was hell yeah, kind of took the next step up and just sort of shook it up a bit. Got that good talk about the deal with the devil, got better action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought the inner monologue as well. It was, as he says, repetitive. I think it was reinforced a lot. And I do think, as you say, Derek, it's because he's, I think, struggling with what he really wants to do. You can tell he really wants to purify his soul. I think that's a running thread throughout the Scarlet Spider book, for him to fix his soul. And he's invested in Abigail as well. He's made a promise, so he really wants to do that. And you can tell how torn he is between doing that and actually helping out the Midnight Suns instead of killing them. So, I think good work there. And of course, Kane and Ben, as Connor says, the second half was just really good. It was a really good way to ram home the issue. So thank you, Derek and Danielle, for those bits of feedback. Always good to have. And please, Loonies out there, if you can or you want, be sure to drop us a line either through the Facebook page or group, or through email or through Twitter. All right, guys. Well, that's about it for this episode. I just want to reiterate as well, for all you Loony listeners out there, and if you've been enjoying our Damnation coverage, please watch out for all 4 podcasts. That includes the Defenders TV podcast, Inner Demons, a Ghost Rider podcast, and Sons of the Dragon, Immortal Iron Fist podcast. For all the reviews to this Damnation event, we've just the Defenders TV podcast have just dropped their review of Doctor Strange 388, I believe, and coming up next we will have Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist podcast. They'll be reviewing Iron Fist 80, so keep your eyes out for that. And then the Defenders guys will wrap things up with Damnation 4 and Doctor Strange 389. There's also a discussion between all 4 podcasts, and we do hope to have a roundtable discussion between all the podcasters to discuss the Damnation event as a whole, which should be a lot of fun. So keep your eyes out for that. We're aiming tentatively towards mid to late May for that. So look, there's a lot of things happening in the comics and film world, so there's a lot of things to look at and to review. But hopefully we can fit it in there, and it will be good to discuss it with everyone else. That's about it. As for where to find us, once again, sorry, thank you, Rebecca. I know that
No problem.
You have you have some work to do shortly, but thank you so much for your time as always. It's always a lot of fun, especially just to unwind a bit and just to chat a bit before we go on air. And yes, Connor, would you be so kind as to tell the loonies where they can find us?
You guys can find us at on our website, Into the Night podcast.wordpress.com. We post everything up there. New episodes, newsletter, we have all our links to other podcasts, all our social medias. If you want to email us, you have moonnightpodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ITKMoonnight. We have a fantastic group full of wonderful people, including readouts you've heard on this episode, and we had a great listener, Tommy, even writing our bare bones.
Yes.
On our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Into the Night. Our Twitter is at ITKMoonnight, and we are on Instagram, Tumblr, YouTube. Just search Into the Night of Moon Knight Podcast. We should be on all good podcast streaming services. We're on Spotify now, Libsyn, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep, fantastic. And I'd also actually just like to add as well, within our Facebook group, we have a 24/7 chat room called the Loony Bin as well. So if you join our group, you'll have access to the Loony Bin. And I've just got to say, I've been dropping in every now and again, and it's been going great guns. I think there's been a lot of lively chat there from people from all over the world. So, yeah, if you're keen on not only discussing things Moon Knighty, but just comics or film in general, why not give it a go? Just drop into the Loony Bin and, chat away. So, yep, that's it. Once again, thank you both for such a cool discussion.
Making this podcast even more lively.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been great. I'm becoming a bit of a Ben Reilly fan though. So.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting on board the Ben Reilly train too, and thank you. Yeah, it's so cool. And Connor as well, always good. Always good chatting. Look, not much Moon Knight news this week, but always good to chat the news. Let's get that Bemis thing happening, yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
No.
Very sponsored by all three
Really?
of us here.
No, give the guy a break from Moon Knight.
I know, he's just had a kid.
Let him go play with his baby.
Baby can also sing on the podcast.
Yeah, maybe remix the baby noises.
That would be so appealing.
Anyway, as always, may Khonshu watch over the denizens of the night. Thank you very much. See ya.
Hooray.
Bye.
Moon Knight and affiliated characters, stories and events are properties of Marvel Characters Incorporated. Materials used and discussed within the podcast are intended for critique and review purposes only under the fair dealing concept of the current Copyright Act. The views, information, or opinions expressed during the podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of the copyright owners.